A very good morning to all the students of class 11th political science, and the students, welcome back to the revision classes here. As you know, we were doing the first chapter in the previous videos, but due to shortage of time we have few classes left for the revision. So I want to take some new topics which you have taken up for the very first time in class 11th. So instead of doing fundamental rights, fundamental duties and directive principles of a state policy, which was the second chapter, which has been merged to chapter number 1 of your book, okay, according to the new revised syllabus. I'm not taking those topics, as these topics are you have been studying from the very classes like 6th, 7th, 8th, 9th, 10th. So you have been into those topics. So today I would like to do this new topic, that is election system in India. In that we studied a system, that is first past the post system and proportional representation. So in this today's videos I am going to discuss about first past the post system. So let us begin without wasting any time. Election system in India. As a layman, if I ask as a common person, if I talk about of the election system, so what do we get the answers like? Everybody knows that we have the right to vote. We'll vote, and the person getting the votes highest. So people don't know the exact what is the election system in India. Okay, so we'll try and understand in this. You may have noted above the reference of different method or the system of elections. You may have wondered what these were all about. You may have seen or read about different methods of electioneering or campaigning in the election, but what are different methods of election? So in this we are going to read about what are the different methods of elections. There is a system of conducting elections. Okay, there is always a system in which we conduct the elections, maybe at the state level or at the central level or at the local level, but there is always a system in place. There are authorities and rules about do's and don'ts. There are always some authorities who are responsible to contest election or conduct election, a free and fair election. There are certain rules and there are some do's and don'ts. Okay, if is that what election system is all about? So this is a question, is that only thing that there will be a body which will be responsible, or the authority which will look after the framing of rules and regulation or do's or don'ts regarding the election? Is that all about the election? You may have wondered why the constitution needs to write down how the voters are to be counted, votes are to be counted and representatives elected. So we must be thinking now that why there was a need of mentioning of in the constitution that how the votes are going to be counted that after the elections are held, how those votes which had been given by the voters, how they are being counted, and how the representatives are elected. So what is the system? It is all written in the constitution, because this topic is not so simple as it seems to a common person. It is that very obvious. People go and vote, the candidate who gets highest votes gets elected. Okay, that is why elections are all over the world. Why do we need to think about it? This is the method that people go, they vote, the candidate who gets the highest vote, he or she gets elected. So why people are around, this is the system around the world, then why do we need to think about it, and why we are studying this topic here? What is the reason? Is it in here? We need to study about it, we need to think about it, because this question is not simple as it appears to us. So because this question is not as simple as it appears to us, it is not as simple that all will go, we'll vote, and the person getting the highest majority will be elected. There is more to know about this. We have got so much to our system of election that we think that there cannot be any other way. So we have been into habit of this election system, so we don't think, we have never given a thought to election system that what can be the other systems of election. In a democratic election, people vote and their preferences decide who will win the contest. Okay, in a democratic election like India, people vote and their preference to whom they are preferring to elect, it concludes the result of the election. But there can be very different ways in which people can make their choices, and very different ways in which their preferences can be counted. So they are saying here there can be various different process of election or electing of our candidates, because if there will be changes in the choices of very different ways in which their preferences can be counted, these different rules of the game can make a difference. So if there will be any change in the rules, there will be completely different outcome of those results or of those elections. like we play a game. If you are playing cricket or football, you know the rules. If you are playing according to the rules, the results will be different. But suddenly in the middle of the game you change some of the rules, so the result and the final result, or the winner and loser, there can be a lot of changes just because changing of few important rules. So in the same way, some rules can favor bigger parties and some rules can help the smaller parties. Some rules can favor the majority community, others can protect the minority. Let us look at one dramatic instance to see how this happened. So let us see one election system, how these things happen, how the rule changes and there is a different outcome of the results. So now we are studying this system, first past the post system. This is also the election system which we follow in India. So look at the newspaper clipping. What's written in the newspaper? In this newspaper is written, पहली बार कांग्रेस को 3/4 बहुमत. So we'll try and understand this statement. पहली बार कांग्रेस को 3/4 बहुमत. Okay. Yes. It talks, I mean that newspaper cutting, it talks of one historic moment in India democracy in the Lok Sabha election. So that newspaper cutting is about a one historic moment in Indian democracy, and that historic moment was Lok Sabha election of 1984. You have to remember this date. There was a historic moment, a different election system which we noticed in the Indian history, Lok Sabha election of 1984. So what happened here? The Congress party came to power winning 415 seats out of 543. So out of total seats of Lok Sabha 543, 415 seats were won by Congress party in 1984. Okay? It means Lok Sabha seats more than 80% of the seats. It means Lok Sabha got more than 80% of the seats, total seats of the Lok Sabha. Such a victory was never achieved by any party in Lok Sabha. What did this election show? Okay, so no one got such victory in the Lok Sabha election. So what do we understand by this election shows? What did this election show? What do we understand by this election? As according to, we said that Congress party got 415 seats out of 443. It means 80% or more than 80% of seats. So can we say that Congress party won 4/5 of the seats? That out of every 4 seats were taken by the Congress candidates. Does it mean that 4 out of 5 Indian voters voted for Congress party? It means out of every 5 Indians, 4 voted for Congress party in the election. Actually not. Okay, you must be thinking, if Congress got 415 seats, 80%, more than 80% of the seats, it means 80% votes were taken up by Congress candidates. But it is not. Actually, it did not happen. That is why this case we are studying here. Take a look at the enclosed table. The Congress party got 48% of the votes. If you look at this, is the table, actual table of the election, result of the election of 1984. Congress party got only 84.0 total votes and they achieved 415 seats. How did it happen? If they got less than 50% of votes they got, but still they got it more than 80% of the seats. Let take a look at enclosed table. The Congress party got 48% of the votes. This means that only 48% of those who voted in favor of the candidates put up by the Congress party. But the party still managed to win more than 80% of the seats in Lok Sabha. Look at the performance of the other parties. The BJP got 7.4% votes but less than 1% seat. How did it happen? So see here, BJP got 7.4% of votes, but they managed to only get 2 seats in the Lok Sabha. In the same way, Janata Dal got 6.7%, but they got more number of seats. So how is it happening? If you look at the election system, it should be very simple that who is getting the maximum votes, he will be elected. But why there is a difference? So we will try and understand this chart, why there is a differences like this. This has happened in our country. We follow a special method of election. So this result is the outcome of the special method which we follow in our country for the elections. Under this system, what happens? In a system which we follow, what happens? The entire country is divided into 543 constituencies. You already know what do we understand by constituencies, and from every constituency one member is elected. If the whole country is divided into 543 constituencies, it means from every constituency one member will be elected. Each constituency elect one representative, and the candidate who secures the highest number of votes in that constituency is declared elected. Suppose this is a constituency. Okay, this is a part where I am living, and this is a constituency, and there are 7 candidates who were fighting this election, or who were into this election, and after the result or after the election the votes were counted, and this person got the highest number of votes. Suppose this got 100 vote, this got 50 votes, this got 70 votes, this got 80 votes, this got 120 votes, this got 200 votes, this got 40 votes. So we will not see that how much percentage which candidate has got in the election, but we will see who has got the highest. So this person will be elected from this constituency. So that is why it's written the candidate who secures the highest number of votes in that constituency is declared elected. So from this constituency this person will be elected as a member of Lok Sabha. It is important to note that in this system whoever has more votes than all other candidates, if there are 5 candidates, who is having the highest number of votes, he will be declared as elected. The winning candidate needs to secure a majority of the votes. Majority of the votes means 50% of the votes of the area. If there is 100% of votes, it is not very important and compulsory for a candidate to secure majority of votes. It is just the one condition that the candidate should get the highest votes amongst the other candidate. This method is called first past the post system. This is called the first past the post system, which we follow in India. In the electoral race, the candidate who is ahead of other, who crosses the winning post first of all, is the winner. The method is also called the plurality system. This is the method of election prescribed by the constitution. This is the election method which is prescribed by the constitution, which is followed in India. So from every constituency one member is elected, and they don't have to achieve or secure the majority of the votes, the complete majority of the votes, but they have to get the highest number of the votes. Now let us now go back to our example. The example we read about the election of 1984, the chart which we have seen, this chart. Okay, the Congress party won great share of the seats than its share of votes, because in many of the constituencies in which its candidate who they secured less than 50% of votes. If there were several candidates, the winning candidate who gets much less than 50% of votes. What happened here? Suppose this was a constituency. Okay, this was party A, party B, party C, party D. There were 4 candidates of different parties. Now I will give you the percentage of votes. He got, first A party got 25% votes, B got 32% votes, C got 20% votes, and he got suppose 40, take it 30. This is 30. So we will see who got the highest percentage of votes. So B got the highest percentage of votes, so he will be elected, but he got only 32%. Okay, suppose this is 100%. Okay, so out of 100%, only 32% was the highest number of votes secured by a candidate, so he will be elected. But these votes are wasted, 30%, 20%, 25%, and these are the votes which went to the candidates who are not being elected. So if he was the member of Congress, so only 32% of the votes will be counted in the Congress. That is why we saw this result here, that although Congress got 48% of only votes, but they were managed to get 415 seats. So I hope you would have understood this particular election system which we follow in India. In the next video we will be doing about proportional representation.